Labor's immigration policy is under intense scrutiny as the party moves to shore up public confidence amid a growing threat from Nigel Farage's Reform UK. In a bid to show decisiveness, the government has released images of migrants being deported, reinforcing its message of strict border control. Donald Trump's actions across the Atlantic appear to be influencing Keir Starmer's approach to immigration. The new US president has signed executive orders mandating the immediate deportation of illegal immigrants, and the British Prime Minister seems to be following suit. Official figures reveal that 18,987 individuals, ranging from foreign criminals to failed asylum seekers, have been deported since Labour took office in July. However, of these, only 5,074 were forced removals, a 24% rise compared to the previous 12 months. The majority of returns remain voluntary, with deportees eligible for payments of up to £3,000 to facilitate their resettlement abroad. The Home Office has ramped up the use of charter flights for deportations, with 39 such flights deployed since July. 4 more than in the equivalent period under the Tories. Deportations often require significant manpower, with high-risk individuals requiring up to 4 escorts. Restraint techniques, including waist and leg restraints, as well as rigid handcuffs, are reportedly used in tens of cases. Migrants resisting deportation are sometimes physically carried onto aircraft. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, defending Labour's approach, insisted that the government is boosting both returns and enforcement. Speaking on Monday, she rejected claims that the move to publicize raids was politically motivated, instead describing it as a long-planned measure to restore public trust. To rebuild confidence in the immigration system, we need to show that the rules are respected and enforced, Cooper said. That's why we have significantly increased resources for immigration enforcement and returns, ensuring those who have no right to be here, especially criminals, are swiftly removed. Labour maintains that enforcement measures are tougher than before, pointing to an increase in workplace raids and arrests targeting illegal workers and their employers. Yet, as small boat crossings rise by 28 since Labour's election victory, critics argue that the government is failing to stem the tide. With Reform UK gaining traction and the Conservatives hammering home a message of Labour weakness, Starmer faces a crucial test. Can he convince the public that his administration is serious about controlling immigration, or will he be seen as yet another leader unable to act decisively?
Well, the only hope we've got, I think, Alan, is watch what Elon Musk, Donald Trump and the team are doing out there. It's quite extraordinary that Keir Starmer seems to want to cuddle up to a failing Europe rather than a vibrant, deregulating America. And if you look at what Elon Musk's doing, he is exposing the fact that at the centre of the Western governments now is huge amounts of fraud because we've become too centrally planned. That's what happens when you get central planning, you get fraud. That's what happens when you get quantitative easing, you get fraud. And what he's doing is he's going to ultimately expose it, get rid of it, and that will release private sector enterprise, and then we will start to do what the West is good at. We will start to innovate and grow.
In a recent interview, Rupert Lowy found himself amidst a backdrop of farmer protests, an intersection of politics, economic policy, and social unrest. Though the context was charged, Lowy's comments seemed to echo a broader narrative gaining momentum in political circles, one that seeks to reduce the size and influence of government in favor of unleashing the potential of the private sector. While the interview may have highlighted ongoing agricultural grievances, it also provided a platform for discussing the larger issue of government regulation and waste. This idea of slashing back bureaucracy and cutting through governmental red tape is a theme frequently championed by figures such as Elon Musk and Donald Trump, whose approaches to leadership, though differing in style, converge on one point: reducing the burden of government to foster a thriving private sector. At the forefront of this political movement are two figures who have become synonymous with disruption: Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Both are outsiders in their fields, Musk with his ambitious technological innovations, and Trump with his unconventional political rise. Their leadership styles have often been characterized by a desire to challenge the status quo, whether in Silicon Valley or Washington, D.C. Musk's ventures, from electric cars to space travel, represent a willingness to disrupt traditional industries and challenge governmental oversight. Similarly, Trump's tenure in the White House was marked by a rhetoric focused on reducing bureaucratic inefficiencies, rolling back regulations, and championing a more business-friendly environment. Their political ideologies, while distinct, share a commitment to minimizing government interference in the hopes of releasing the economic power of the private sector. This follow the leader mentality toward Musk and Trump reflects a broader, libertarian, leaning ideology that favors a leaner, more agile government. The belief here is clear. The government should step back and allow the private sector to operate with fewer restrictions, less tax burden, and fewer bureaucratic hurdles. The term brutally slashing waste, fraud, and bureaucracy is often used to describe this vision, conjuring images of dramatic cuts to government programs deemed inefficient or redundant. Advocates argue that excessive spending and overregulation hinder economic growth, stifling innovation and entrepreneurship. For many, the appeal of this ideology lies in its promise of economic liberation. Deregulation, tax cuts, and a reduction in public sector involvement could, at least in theory, lead to faster innovation, job creation, and economic growth. This is the type of environment Musk and Trump advocate for, one where individual initiative and free market principles can reign supreme. In any case, as figures like Musk and Trump continue to influence the political discourse, the debate over the role of government in society remains one of the most contentious and pivotal issues of our time. How much is too much when it comes to government intervention, and how much is too little? Only time will tell whether these bold visions will bring about the prosperity they promise, or create new challenges for a rapidly changing world. Thanks for watching! Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. For more updates and discussions, join us on Telegram. Stay connected and keep the conversation going.